Good morning, Green Room. It's the first day, huh? It's already nice here in South Florida. I was actually able to sit outside and enjoy the evening, little breeze. This one is paradise down here, especially as we get into November, December, January, February. All right, well, let's see. What? Advanced Micro Devices getting shellacked? Another bomb going off here? 18 bucks. All right. Maybe it keeps going down and hits the 200 MA. Maybe that'd be good for a day trade. That's a huge gap. All right. Put that one on the list. Could be a fader. You know, it's already been going down this long, and then a gap of that size. Yeah. Twitter. Was Twitter unbelievable? I mean, that was like, in retrospect, it looked good in the morning, but it obviously good because I hit the button and lucky enough to sell it near the high. But in retrospect, it was like, it should have been like one of those, do you feel lucky punk trades, and got lucky, to get out of that thing before it went down. Now it's gapping up. So I maybe, you know what, when you said that, Dan, I thought maybe it was gapping down. I know it reported earnings and supposedly they were good, but maybe those in the know were buying it yesterday in anticipation, and then the market got the best of it, and buyers just disappeared. Anyway, 30 bucks was high as 31. That could be a long gapper for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's see what Mr. Schizo has for us today. That certainly looks like it's got to go lower, right? Down to the next level down here, like we covered at yesterday at the close. So definitely the possibility of an inside day with a bar like that, which means kind of boring, go nothing kind of day, but we shall see. You see where we got minor resistance there, up around 270-ish. If it just goes sideways underneath that should open up the door to lower. But, at this point, it would seem that going down here would make the most sense. And we did the measured moves and so on. But coming down into this level here, and hopefully it does it fast. Right? We don't want this hanging around sideways stuff because, it's close to this little consolidation prior to this drop. And ideally we get, a little swift move and get another one, and it's over pretty quick. The internals do support that, which we can take a look at real quick from yesterday. We're getting down to that static 1.2 level, which is what it did where it was back in February, where it went, it was down here on the retest. Yeah, that was on the retest. It went down there. So we'll see. It doesn't always set up exactly the same way, but to come down to that level, and then you can see the breadth was the drop on the initial drop, and then this is what would likely play out in a scenario where you get a nasty break, and this one went straight down, and there was a little stop there, which would be here. The next move, right? And on a reversal, we buy that, play it for, as far as we can. And then ideally you would get a retest, which, just looking at this and eyeballing that could come at the end of the year, unlikely at, holiday time, but maybe into January, February, who knows? We'll see how that plays out. It's a long ways off. Point being here is that we have sentiment close to a very extreme level. And we had the initial crack where breadth went down near minus 300. And so now in the next move down, we get down here, and, then we look for even at this point, a drop down there, folks. And I sent out that email yesterday. even if it happened tomorrow, if we get a bottoming tail bar tomorrow, meaning today's a down day and we get a sell off and it turns into a bottoming tail bar at the end of the day, we got to take a position. You know, you can wait, of course, as I wrote, above the, Friday's high on Monday, if it plays out that way, but let's see. Okay, we'll see. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I do want to be prepared with some kind of a plan, and that's why I'm mentioning it. All right, so Qs, same story there. Big ugly bar, and got the void to move down below. So we'll see where that goes. Russell just totally shellacked. Was set up perfectly for a W pattern. That is not in the cards. It sliced through. More support. We'll see if it holds this area. It's just, can it go all the way down to 136? If the markets were selling off, sure, it definitely could. But what a move in a short period of time. That would be incredible. And why? Why? Because interest rates popped up a little bit? BS is my thought. Something else is going on here. I don't know. Maybe it's the red wave. I don't know. We'll see. You mean reversal to the top side, at least short term? Absolutely. If we were to get the sell-off today in a bottoming tail bar on Friday, yes, a reversal to the upside, which could last several weeks. I'm not saying it would go straight up like it went straight down. That typically doesn't happen. But yes, we would look for longs at that time for an oversold type of bounce, a climactic buy. The bigger move where, maybe we can get a trending move, for a month or whatever, that typically comes on a retest type of a pattern. So we'll see. Transports just crushed, tried to hold. And when it didn't, the buyers just gave it up. They said, hey, we don't know what's going on either, but I'm not hanging around for this. And it looks like going down around to this 160, 170 level, somewhere around there would be in the cards. I got alerts set on the other platform. And that's it's lower here. The diamonds, looks like got to go down here, 240-ish, maybe lower, 236. We don't want an inside day today. I'm saying that because that's often what happens after a wide range bar. You often get a narrow range inside kind of day, but this is not your typical market. So we'll just see how today plays out. Futures, the inside day at the bottom of the wide range bar so far. Right? No big deal. Nothing happening there. Just, I guess everybody's just a wait and see if it does head lower. Qs, same story. Coming up into some minor resistance. It popped up and coming back in. YM, same story. Little pop up coming in. So far, nothing to really give us any clues here. Bonds stalled now, and it's more of a bear flag, right? There's your pole. There's your flag. Getting ready for the next wave to the downside. Bonds, oil stabilizing. It sliced through the 200 and just holding its near some support. And that is pretty, just looking at how many things sliced through the 200 MA on this drop. And starting from no heads up, no breakout bar failures, no ugly top patterns, no inverted yield curve. It's surprising. And diamonds, just everything down below the 200 MA. Gold trying to recover, coming up into some resistance. And just looking at a few ETFs. utilities. People just running to trying to put their money into something that's safe. I would assume, going into utilities there, and they get some yields. They're making some money there. So fantastic for those that's doing it. It's working out. But when the market turns, that'll come in. This has been one of the strongest sectors over the last few years. Aerospace and defense, slicing through the 200. Biotech did that a long time ago. Home building getting crushed. Metals and mining, same story. Pharmaceuticals the same. Retailing showing a little bit of relative strength. Yesterday giving it up, but this could be something to go to. Just look at the distance to the 200. It's closer than what we've been looking at, and it didn't make a new low yesterday. So just something to keep in mind. Semiconductors, that'll go lower today with AMD being down. Software, ugly. Telecom, ugly. Super staples. That was that schizo move. Topping, crack, right back up again. I guess that's putting money into catch up and Procter and Gamble and who knows whatever. There's a place to run. Consumer discretionary falling apart. Energy, just a crazy move as well. Oil falling apart there. Financials, breaking, healthcare, everything. It's above the 200. Maybe that was one of the turnarounds, early turnarounds. Wow. Technology, crash. Internet, did I get that? Yep, that's down there. Steel, down. Solar, downtrend, and so on. Right? I like to say nothing's safe, but utilities have been the safest and actually going up. So it seems to be the only thing that has been anything that's gone up there. TLT is going to be like bonds. Got smashed. Little climactic move to the downside in the flagpole here. So TLT is the ETF for bond prices, and TBT is the ETF for yields. So I guess yields have been safe. If you consider safe something that's going up, so that's the inverse. TBT is the inverse of TLT. And there's leveraged ones. Some of them not so liquid, but there's a lot of ETFs out there. And the VIX did not go higher yesterday. Complacency. The only way to read that is that complacency, the put call ratio did not, it went up. It actually started the day lower. It did not get up to like 1.5. So if we get a sell-off today, we want to see this volatility index pushing up probably to 30 or higher. I mentioned yesterday in the video, the NASDAQ volatility index that was closer to an extreme high. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on the put call ratio that we finally call the idiots, that will inevitably be loaded to the eyes with put options at the bottom. And that's what we are looking for today. And Twitter may be along, and even AMD may be along if it can accelerate to the downside down to the 200. That would be an ideal place since it's in alignment with this unfilled gap here and the 200 MA. That's it for me. Take it away, Dan.
Hey, yeah, good morning, everyone. Thanks. Yeah, with this gap on AMD, it wasn't far from the 200 already.
I'm hoping it gets there.
Yeah.
Well, it got down to 17, and it's there. It's there. Some retest pattern. Okay.
Yeah, we actually are flat again. I mean, yesterday we just had spiders. put spread, and you know, we do trade review, of course, on our trades, and you know, these were valid trades when we entered them. And this is just another shellacking. I mean, ever since this breakout failure in this breakdown here, I remember it was on a Thursday. This Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was fine. It's been very difficult. So we stopped out of the spider, put spread, diamonds. We even tried Netflix yesterday. This was not a directional trade. I mean, it had a topping tail on the weekly, lower high on the monthly, but it was just a 1, 2, 3 for 2.5 days. And look at that, stopped us out. So, you know, we're flat. A lot of gappers here today and earnings. I don't know if glue is earnings or not, but I just saw it going by the ticker. 644. You know, not great. Budweiser, it's an ADR, but wow, look at that. 135 bucks down to 75. CME, no pattern. ALK, the airlines are popping here a little bit, no pattern. AAL. Now see, this is another great example of our M bottom. Yes, it was setting up a potential M bottom. We would have preferred, you know, a better reversal bar, but it definitely was looking like a short-term bottom, even though it's in a downtrend and you're swimming upstream on the weekly and monthly. So it's gapping up 31.84, no pattern now. But if it can take out yesterday's high, then this 2-bar becomes our potent reversal. And then you have a price void. So that's worth watching. Here, I'll set an alarm at 32.50. And I can't set an alarm. Beautiful. I'll just put it, I'll do it over here on my other computer. ABB, no pattern, it's junk. EFX, oversold, no pattern, we'll come back to it. CTXS, gapping up almost to 103. I would, you know, it's maybe a 30-minute high, but it's not tier 1 yet. Yeah, this is gapping from a bearish 1, 2, 3, 4 consolidation. So I'm not going to be in a rush for AMD. ABX, a little gold stock at earnings. It's going down, but no pattern. Yeah, Pam, are you using green? Yeah, green is a 20, blue 50, red is 200. And only on the monthly, we use pink for the 10 MA. Weekly, we just use 20 and 50. SPG, no pattern. Twitter, so this is my best gapper so far. We're still looking. USG, no pattern. VLO 89 and change, no pattern, swimming upstream, gapping down to the 200, no pattern. Sell G, day trade if anything, it's downtrend, daily, weekly, monthly. Yeah, everyone, I see Sawden also. If everyone please type to all panelists and attendees. And when I was talking about MA colors, Pat, that's what Pam was asking me. COP, no pattern. Duncan, no pattern. GE, it's not earnings, but you know, we're just watching that one for a while. Grub was on our long consideration watch list yesterday, but it had earnings. Now it's getting shellacked. 94 bucks. Where's 94? That's ugly. I mean, I'm not. Hey, Pam, we're on the bottom of your chat window where it says 2TO:, hit the little drop down. IP, no pattern. Leah, no pattern. Ford, no pattern. FFIV, 168. It's no pattern, but look, it's deep. It's over 1, 2 major pivots on the 15-minute chart. So there's no pattern yet, but it's the start if it can follow through. GG, no pattern, another gold stock. KNX, same. LM, ton of earnings. I can't tell where it's gapping. LBS is in pain along with Win. My God, these things are oversold. Look at that, 80 to 52 in 2 months. That is an amazing haircut. Microsoft bullish gap to resistance, pulling in here a little bit. This might set up for a day trade. You got a price void here. Visa. No, well, this shows a, okay, it did gap up strong, and now look, it's sold back off. So I have no interest on that. You're also swimming upstream on the weekly and monthly. Vertex Pharmaceuticals, no pattern. Do you believe this? And so I'm done with all those earnings. This is into my carryover list from yesterday. Oh, really? Okay. Thanks for that clarification. Then I'm just going to delete them now so I don't even look at them again. Boeing, we were watching for a put spread, and you know, it sold off with everything else. McDonald's is a bullish 1, 2, 3. You know, it's far from the 20, but that's, you can't argue with the relative strength. And look at that, going sideways. I'm going to put that in a window. That's amazing strength. And I actually got an email today. Some service is selling an out of the money put spread on that. I'm sorry, out of the money call spread, saying that's it's extended. And, you know, there's different flavors of extended, right? But this was a pro gap, igniting breakout, bullish 1, 2, 3, relative strength. This is the last thing I'd want to sell a bear call credit spread on. That's nuts. Tesla, yep, beautiful gap. Gapping up here to these prior highs though, so your entry is going to be difficult, and I don't know what strategy that you're thinking about, but yes, this is a definite way out of the money put spread candidate for, you know, Friday or even next week. Let's keep an eye on that for sure. Also, Verizon I've been watching for a while with its gap earnings breakout on a Tuesday. Netflix, no interest. GE, we already looked at. These are just miscellaneous now. I'm out of my earnings.